Wanting something that feels great for your lower back, then a little bit of decompression is what you're after. And we are going through multiple ways that you can do it. You can choose any of these and we will give our opinion on them as potential options, which is our personal favourite to do for this and which we feel is the ultimate option and why. This used to be used commonly as a treatment for low back pain with actual traction machines. It's just not been shown to be any better than other things such as just doing exercise, which is way more accessible, so it has fallen out of favour. However, we are going to show ways it can be more accessible, and as we go through the list, the more accessible the options are going to get, and as anyone who does it, it feels so good. The first options are using machines designed for this. One's like a teeter table, where you just hang upside down, or a newer one called the Dex, where it fixes you in and you just hang down and let it decompress. This isn't sponsored, by the way, and there are downsides to this, which we will cover, and you don't even need these machines to get a similar outcome. So instead of them, more common and accessible machines would be using a hyperextension, so just leaning over and allowing that decompression, relaxing down, or using a GHD, which will give pretty similar results and feeling. There is a problem with all these options though. Major head rushes and a lot of blood to the head, which will probably stop you before getting enough decompression will. So there are other options, and the benefit of these next ones are twofold. You aren't getting the blood to the head and they're on even more accessible equipment. One of them is as simple as hanging. Just use a bar or something you can hang off and let your back relax. The only problem with this one is if you might struggle with hanging, maybe due to shoulder issues or just strength. So instead you can use a captain's chair, hold yourself up and again let the back relax. You can even swing the legs forward or side to side to get even more out of this. But again, an issue if struggling to hold yourself up. So moving on to the next option, you'll have no problems with. And this is my personal favourite. And it's as simple as laying on a Swiss ball. You want to get a reasonably big one, so higher off the floor, then just lay on top of it and completely relax. The benefit of this is it also gets higher up the back as well, not just the lower. And no, we aren't sponsored by Swiss balls either. But how can we make this even more accessible? Well, we've got two options that everyone can be doing in the comfort of their own home. One is as simple as just hanging off the edge of a bed. Have your legs off, hold on and just relax. You'll definitely feel it. Adjust position, so hips further on or off to find the sweet spot that works best for you. And the next one, which is the easiest of the lot, is simply while sitting in a chair, put your arms by the side to lift your bum off and then relax your back. This isn't the most effective of the bunch, but you'll definitely feel it helping. Now, before we talk about the ultimate option for this, we need to address an important consideration when doing decompression. For some people, especially if already having some back pain, there is a potential for a bit of a back spasm coming along with it. This normally happens because the back's like, whoa, that's too far, and then tries to protect the area by tightening up. This doesn't mean it's bad to do, just change how you're doing it and don't force anything. Others will say that they don't feel anything when they're trying this. But this is because you actively have to try and relax while doing any of these to allow that back to decompress. And this is half the benefit, actually allowing the muscles to relax rather than constantly being tense and on. And sometimes they do that because the muscles are a bit weaker and they're having to work harder and tighten up in the first place. And so it's not just about decompression that will help the back, but strengthening is also something that's really important. And that brings us on to the ultimate option, which is the reverse hyperextension. Also not sponsored by this, even though you might think it the amount we go on about it on this channel. But the benefit of this is it gives good decompression, while at the same time you can work on strengthening the lower back. And as we always talk about, strengthening for the back is massively important, but heavily neglected. We are working on gym programs to help with this though, and depending on when you're watching this, it may be available, so just check for the link in the description. And you can check out this video here if you are looking for other options of how to do the reverse hyperextension when you don't have access to the machine, because they are pretty rare and hard to come by in normal gyms.